Hello, Year 2. Welcome to Tuesday's geography lesson. This is the third geography lesson we've done this half term. If you haven't already done the work for first week's geography and the second week's geography, really you need to go back and do it, because if there's some things that we'll have done last week and the week before where if you haven't done them, then you might not understand today. So if you want to carry on today and you haven't done that, that's fine. But if you haven't, then you might need to go back and watch those lessons. All right. So far, just gonna get it ready for you. So far we have done some. Hold on, where are we? So we've done some work on north, south, east, and west. We did that last week, didn't we? And in the first week, we started looking at the different types of land in the UK. So we're going to go back to different types of kind of geographical features. And all that means is different types of things that you'd expect to see around our country. All right. So just as a warm up, I might want to pause the video in a minute. What geographical feature are each of these pictures, and how do you know? So I'll do the first one. I know that this is a hill, because it's a raised area of land, but it's not as steep as a mountain. All right. So pause the video just for about 1 minute. Can you explain what each of these things is and how do you know? All right. Pause the video now. Okay. So I did this one for you. Did we get this one? See, there's water here. And there it looks like it's landlocked. It's got land all the way around it, and that tells us that it's a lake. It's a lake because it's surrounded by land. And what type of water will there be in it? Salt water or fresh water? There'll be fresh water in the lake. Okay. What about this one? You might say 2 or 3 different things for this, because we can see 2 or 3 different features all on one picture. So what about this one? So this is the coast. It's where the land meets the sea. You can see a beach here as well. And obviously the sea, you can see just in the background of the picture that it goes on and on and on. It's not surrounded by land, so we know that it's the sea. This is actually a place in England. It's at the very south of our country. All right. We did this one. This is a hill. It's a raised area of land. And it's definitely not as steep or as tall as a mountain. What about this one? Yeah, this is the sea. How do you know just from this picture that it's the sea? What's this picture doing that a lake wouldn't really do? Yeah, we can see waves, can't we? So the sea has a tide and the waves come in and out. A lake, normally the water's quite still unless it's a windy day. And what about this one? Bit of an easier one, this one, I think. Yeah, this one's a forest. It's a large area of land which is covered mainly with trees, although you can actually see some mountains in the background as well. Did you remember what this is from the first week? Got mountains on one side, mountains on the other side, and there's a stream running through the middle. This is our valley. Yeah, a low area of land between mountains, usually with a river or stream running through it. Okay. So there's some ones that we've talked about before. You can see that our title of our lesson today, our learning objective is, can I identify geographical features in the Lake District? Has anyone ever been to the Lake District? I think if you probably have. It's not too far from Manchester. It'll take you about an hour and a half in the car. And if you've got an older brother or sister in year 3, then you might remember that we went to the Lake District last year. We would have been going this year, but unfortunately the coronavirus has meant that we couldn't, which is a bit rubbish. We would have been going probably this week. So we're going to have a look at the Lake District and some things that you'd expect to see in it today. All right. And you'll definitely see a valley in the Lake District, but you'll also see one of these. All right. So we've got a new word alert. So Our new word today is marina. 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 A marina is a harbour for small boats. It's kind of like a park, like a car park, but for boats. So boats, when they're out on the lake, and the person who's driving the boat doesn't, wants to stop and get off, he'll take it into the marina and he'll dock it. That's the same as parking it. And you can see on this marina, there's quite a few small boats. The difference between a harbour and a marina is small, normally on a lake. A harbour would be at the edge of the sea with like huge, big boats. These are just small ones, all right? So that's the difference. So, this is a picture of Lake Windermere. This is where we would have been going this half term. This is a place in England. It's about an hour and a half away from us. So it's quite far away. It's very different to Wythenshawe and Manchester, but I want you to have some solo thinking time. That's just where you think on your own. Which geographical features would you expect to find near Lake Windermere? So we've got some around the edge. We've not got all of them around the edge. We've got some. So hill, lake, school, valley, coast, marina, cliffs, forest, offices, and the sea. So I need to pause the video and look at each one by one, and just think, would I expect to find that nearby? That's all I want you to think about. Yes or no for each one. So pause the video now, have a think, have a chat if you're with someone. Would you expect to find it nearby? Pause the video now for me, please. Okay, you might be able to see some of them. Hill. Well, we can see hills. There's a hill here. It looks like this photo is taken from the top of a hill. See some hills in the distance. So we'll definitely find some hilly land around Lake Windermere. Lake, yeah, fair enough. And we can see that there's land all the way around. There's land at the side, at the end, at that side, and you can see all the way to the other side of Lake Windermere, actually. So yeah, we've got hill, yep. Lake, yep, we'd expect to find that nearby. Would you expect to find a school nearby? Possibly. You can see that there's not a big town nearby. You can see a few buildings here. So it looks like there might be a little village or something. And you can see spots of buildings around the edge, but not a huge school like Crossacres Academy, yeah? There might be a small village school, but it's not going to be a huge school like ours, all right? So probably not. Valley. Who said that they think they'd expect to find a valley nearby? If there are lots of hills and mountains, then you will obviously find a valley because a hill goes up and down, and before it gets to the next hill, we'll have a valley. So you will definitely find valleys nearby. What about the coast? The coast is not nearby because remember, the coast meets the sea. You don't say that a lake has a coast. The coast is by the sea, so we wouldn't expect to find the coast near Lake Windermere. Marina. Marina, our new word. Well, you can actually see in this part, just on the left of the lake, can you see all the little boats? So I'd expect in this bit, this little bit that you can't see, there's probably a marina there. If there's small boats on the lake, you'll definitely have to have somewhere to put them, won't you? So there's definitely going to be a marina. What about cliffs? You could get cliffs on a lake, but not really very often because cliffs are actually made by the sea. Say there's some rocks or a hill and the sea bashes them and bashes them and bashes them, and that creates a cliff. It's called erosion. That's a key stage 2 word, but it would bash against it, the sea. The lake wouldn't do that, so you wouldn't really expect to find a cliff near a lake. Okay. About a forest. You can actually see quite a lot of trees, so I would expect to find a forest nearby. Offices? No, not tall offices, not huge office blocks like this, not near Lake Windermere. And what about the sea? No, there's a big difference between the lake and the sea. And Lake Windermere is in the middle of the land, where obviously the sea is around the edge. So we wouldn't expect to see them. But well done if you got most of them, because it's really, your geography skills are getting really good if you could explain why we would find them near Lake Windermere or why we couldn't. Okay, your task today, you're going to get some pictures of some features around Lake Windermere. And all I want you to do is going to be similar to our first lesson. So you'll need to use your skills from our first geography lesson, as well as our new skills. You're going to get some pictures of the features around Lake Windermere and do some of them now. And your job is going to be to match the picture, the name of the feature, and you're going to have to write your own definition. Okay? So you got to take care, because I might have put some wrong words in here. So let's look at this one. Make it bigger so you can see it. What do we think this is? You're right. It's a river. So this is a river. And then what's the definition of a river? A naturally raised area of land not as big as a mountain. That's not what a river is. A large area covered mainly with trees and vegetation. No. A large natural stream of water flowing into the sea or a lake. Yeah, that's what a river is. So we'll put that there. Okay, what about this? What's this? Is it school? No. Lake? Yeah. Can see a lake there, can't we? So let's get rid of that. So this one's a lake. A naturally raised area of land not as big as a mountain. No. A large area covered mainly with trees and vegetation. No. So what's a lake? How would we define what a lake is? Have a think. This is where you'll really, really have to be thinking about the things that we've talked about so far this half term. So a lake, well, let's start off saltwater or freshwater? Freshwater. So we can say an area of fresh water which is surrounded by land. Okay, that's what a lake is. So we've got the name of our thing, picture, the name of our thing, and then a definition. Let's do one more. Oh, what was this one? Let me just move me up there. What was this one? We've got forest, office, school, or marina. Is it school? No. Is it an office? No. I'd quite like that to be my office. It's a marina, isn't it? Now, what did we say a marina was? This is where I don't want you to worry if you can't remember exactly what I said a marina was. I want you to try and do it in your own words. So what did you say a marina was? We used the word harbour, didn't we? A harbour for small boats. It's annoying that this is here. I can't get it off, unfortunately, unless we're in school. A harbour for small boats to dock. And I said, like parking. It's like parking your car, but parking your boat. Okay, so your sheet today is going to look like this. Okay. Now, what I want you to do, if you can, is pause this, and you might want to write down some of these videos, some of these words, because they're going to go in the name. So you've got the picture, done a couple of them together, so you might want to do them first. I've got all the words that we're going to need. Lake, well, some of them, we don't need all of them. So some of them are tricks. So lake will go in here, and forest, school, mountain, river, marina, cathedral, valley, office. And then a definition. Now, these words in this box on the side are just some words which you might want to use. You don't have to use them, but they might help you. All right, I'm just going to add a couple actually. I'm going to add that one. I'm going to add this one. Land, water, moving. I think that might be all right. So you've got your pictures. I want you to write what each thing is and try and write your own definition. We've done most of them today as our warm-up and part of our lesson. But now I want you to try and write your own, okay? I'm looking for, if you want to do it, with your finger on your iPad or your tablet, that's fine. If you want to use a text box and type it, that's fine. Or actually, guys, if you want to just number these, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you wanted to, if you prefer to do it, what's going on there? Pinging about everywhere, isn't it? Oh my goodness, I bet you're all laughing at me now. If this was happening in our classroom, you'd be absolutely rolling around, giggling, pinging all over the board. There we go, that's a bit better. If you want to number the pictures and just write them in your book, that's absolutely fine. So it's completely up to you whether you type it, whether you write in your finger, or whether you just number them and do it in your book. I don't mind. Okay, off you go.